AITA for continuing to sleep nude despite my neighbors being able to see into my bedroom? So, I'm a 28-year-old dude and have been living in my house for a few years now. One of the main reasons I chose this place was because my bedroom faced east, allowing me to wake up to the morning sunlight. Most mornings I wake up before my alarm goes off just because the sunlight coming through the window waking me up. There used to be a tree line that provided a natural barrier between my house and any potential neighbors. So I never saw the need for curtains or blinds, along with they are expensive as hell for the nice ones. Recently my neighborhood expanded and most of the tree line my bedroom was facing was cut down to build new houses. So boom. Then there's a house was built right across from mine, and their window has a clear view into my bedroom. I've always been comfortable sleeping nude, and it wasn't an issue when there were no neighbors around. But not long after the people moved in, the father from the house came over to my house and pretty much told me to stop being nude in front of my windows since his family can see inside my bedroom. He wasn't nice about it, but he wasn't mean either, just matter-of-factly, like he gave me an order of fully expected it to be done, like I was his kid or his employee. I was somewhat surprised but understood his concern, so I made an effort to be more mindful of my nudity when in view of the window. I stopped cleaning and making my bed before getting dressed. I'd hop out of bed, walk into my closet, and at least put on shorts, then go about my morning chores. That being said, I still sleep nude, and I occasionally end up being visible to the neighbors for a brief moment after waking up. The father came over again, leading to an argument between us. I told him I was trying my best to be considerate, but there's only so much I can do, and that it's my house and I'm not changing my lifestyle because they moved in. He threatened to call the police and said I was being a menace to the neighborhood, whatever the hell that means. So, am I the asshole for continuing to sleep nude even though my neighbors can see into my bedroom? I don't think it matters who the A is in this situation. While you have the right to do whatever you want inside, this situation can easily be turned against you. A window can be considered public in some cases. Depending on where you live, there are cops and law enforcement agencies who can work against you in this situation, regardless of what the laws of indoor spaces may say. Since this involves nudity and minors looking at you, I would get some window film to put over the bottom half of your window in order to prevent any more problems escalating. This can go very wrong for you and you won't have any legs to stand on. You don't know what your neighbor is capable of. Your neighbor could get law on their side and could get you charged on indecent exposure or the sex offender registry for exposing yourself to people. While you're allowed to do what you want inside, things can be twisted against you here because you're naked in full public view. Be careful with nudity. Just because you're a man inside of his home doesn't mean you won't be penalized for showing your dick off in front of a window. Again, a window can be considered public in some cases. Be careful. This can turn very dangerous for you. My suggestion would to be installation of glass tint. You won't lose the sunlight, but also your neighbors won't be able to see in. Easy solution. No blinds or curtains to hang or install. You can still see out, but they can't see in. Nah, but maybe you could get a window cling that obscures the clear view into your bedroom without sacrificing the natural light you enjoy and the fleshy freedom you love. NTAIF he bothers you again. Ask why his family spends so much time looking in your bedroom. NTA. He can put up curtains to block his view of your house. He's telling you to put up curtains so that he can keep his windows open while you block the morning sun that you wake up to. Just like my grandma who complains I never phone. Like phones. Curtains work both ways. Edit. Although my grandma lives in my memories and I can hear her voice, she's no longer around to answer the call. I phoned and visited regularly. It was just part of our routine where she would complain. After each time I reminded her it was a two-way street. I'm pretty certain she phoned a different grandkid. She needed the reminder. She felt guilty disturbing people her entire life. I have no regrets. We had a great relationship. NTA. Some commenters are suggesting OP should put blinds. If the neighbor is bothered, then they should put up blinds. Why is this a problem for OP to solve? Sheer curtains. Everyone's happy. Info. I see a lot of curtains comments, so I will just ask. 1. Do they have curtains? And 2. Are you visible if they are outside of their home? F.E. Garden? Additional. My personal opinion is that you can do what you want in your own home, but if other people live around you, it's nice to show a bit of consideration. You should consider getting that mirror film on your windows so people can't see in. I know someone who got prosecuted for being naked in his window. The neighbor claimed their children were being abused by a creeper. It wasn't pretty. Get some blinds. OP. That's what adults do. Why not buy one of those privacy plastic films that are used on bathroom windows? You would only need to cover the lower half of the inside of your window, and the top half would still be the normal glass. It would still let in the early morning light, and would just stop your neighbors seeing what you had below the belt. Just saying. Because my daughter has discovered that the house across the road has a direct view into her bedroom window, which also faces east. The elderly woman who lived there before never cared. But my daughter is a bit more self-conscious. She is worried about flashing her breasts at her neighbors when she opens the curtains in the morning. Check your local laws. Not sure where you are, but you can be charged for public indecency if you are aware that you can be seen from the outside naked and you continue to expose yourself. While you have the right to privacy and you can do whatever you want in your own home, that right does not apply when there is no expectation of privacy, like when you leave your curtains drawn. If you don't want to do curtains or blinds, which is wild, but you do you can install that window film from any of the home improvement stores that allows in all the light but turns the window into a mirror. When I had a window in my shower, I used the tinted stuff and it worked great. Problem solved. You can go back to cleaning up your room naked. Everybody's saying the neighbors should put up blinds. What makes you think they don't have them? Why should they keep them closed to accommodate OP? We live in a community. There are things we do as a community. Making sure random people can't see inside our living space is usually one of those. They do make a covering for windows where light comes through but you cannot see in. We have it on the window in our bathroom. Not expensive at all and is a great way to not block out light in your room. I don't really know how to feel. You refer to him as the father. Are kids seeing you? Because at the end of the day, yes, it's their problem, and yes, they should get blinds, and yes, they should monitor their children, but doing something knowing you could expose yourself to children doesn't sit right with me. Some places this can even land you on the sex offender registry, and I think you would agree. Sunshine isn't worth ruining your life. Before I get downvoted, I agree it's not OP's issue, but they're making it his issue and kids are involved. But you're the one who might end up with consequences. You may be inside your own home, but in many jurisdictions, if you knowingly and intentionally expose yourself to people who are in a public way, you may face criminal charges. In my town, a man was convicted of public indecency for walking naked around his living room every morning when the mail carrier delivered his mail. He'd been notified that he could be seen by her and the children in the 2 school buses that went down the street same time every day, but chose not to close the curtains or put on some pants. Instead, he began standing on a chair so everyone could better appreciate his enthusiasm. He served a brief sentence in the jail, was placed on probation, and is now required to register as a sex offender for 10 years. I'm sure he regrets that decision, and it'd be a shame for you to similarly wish you'd stuck some film on your windows when you had the chance. YTA or NTA, doesn't matter. You could get charged for indecent exposure, and if bad enough end up as a sex offender. If they complain to the cops and the cops come and give you a warning, that's it. That was your last chance. Because if they're called again, you're getting arrested. https www.nbcnews.com/news/amp/dubna 34483145. I don't get why people don't realize there are public indecency laws. If this person is in US, you can be naked in your home when you have expectation of privacy. If you don't block view into your home using blind, you lose that expectation of privacy, and now you see in public view and under public indecency laws. I.e., you can't be full nude in public. Edit. I know it varies by jurisdiction. That's up to OP to check his own jurisdiction. And what you can do in yours doesn't mean he can do in his. I'm actually leaning towards YTA here, personally. On the basis of your use of the word father, I'm assuming it's children who are seeing you naked. Some sheer curtains would be a quick solution. It's also worth noting, for your safety, that there have been some cases where people have been convicted of indecent exposure while in their own homes. While you're clearly not doing this with any sexual motivation, it probably wouldn't be hard for someone to say you are when there's children involved, and that's a situation that I would say is best to avoid. There are so many options: sheer curtains, reflective glass film. It's not shocking to me that a father doesn't want his children seeing you naked.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.